G'day guys, welcome back to this Udemy course on Focchi Facades. In this video we're going to be looking at the connection with the BIMservercenter. So this is our three fundamental buttons on the right hand side here. Initially we'll start off with the most bottom right. This button here just demonstrates the connection, whether we're connected or not to the server. As you can see here, the green tick corresponds to a connection being complete. Also, what I want you guys to notice is that my synchronizer is on. I have the same green tick as well, meaning that I'm connected to the synchronizer as well. So what I'm going to do, as you can see here, I haven't introduced any elements at all from the program. So it's just strictly my architectural model. What I'm going to do to demonstrate that connection is I'm going to just input one row of solar collectors, for instance. So let's just add these. Don't worry if you don't know how to do this. We're going to go through this in the next video. We're actually going to set up the whole. We're going to configure the whole building. But just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to initially first create some of these here. Okay, we'll delete this one. Okay, so what we're going to do, as you can see here, I've inputted some of these solar collectors. I'm going to now export. Now this export, what it does, of course, when I export the project, this will now export to my local directory. So here you go, in my C drive, my BIM projects, Udemy, the IFC file. The Focchi Facades model has now been stored in my computer for my use whenever I want. Now, if I wanted to update the model onto the server, that's done by the update button here. So as you can see here, by clicking on that model, we're able to initially, once we've read the data, we're able to select the project. Right, so we're able to create a new project or select the project in which we want. I've selected Udemy Apartments 123, which is the project that I created in the IFC builder when I developed the architectural model. Again, of course, we have our 3D viewer. You guys are familiar with how to maneuver around that by now. The new elements in the current BIM model, should we include those calculations? The modified elements, should we include, update the calculations, recover? And the removed elements. Also, we're also able to include the DXF templates and upload those templates to the BIM model. So those are all changes we're going to include. Here, as I said, I haven't developed any other specialized applications. If you remember from the first video when we went through the workflow, those specialized applications that obviously are in IFC format. If I had, for instance, before doing the facade generation in Focchi Facades, if I was in Lux, which is another lighting software we have in our repertoire, and I developed the lighting for these for this apartment building, the different lights and the structure and the electrical setup, those models would appear here. So basically, it's asking me, which IFC which IFC files do I want to include into my Udemy Apartments 123 project? I don't have any here, which is strictly because there's only an IFC file and there's only an architectural model. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to demonstrate that. So let's accept the changes. Let's update the model. As you can see, the model is now updated. You can see. It's been connected and I've updated it. Now let's go into our BIMservercenter. I've logged onto my account, the same account that's connected. Let's go into my projects. And now, as you can see, my Udemy Apartments 123 is first because it's there's been an introduced change. And once I go into that dashboard, let's go into our what we can do here is obviously view the project. And as you can see, if I go into here, I'm able to view the Focchi Facade details in which I've updated the model. So as you can see here, it's not visible. I can choose to make that visible, and as you can see, that model is now in my view. I can also play with the transparency of the model. But fundamentally, this is how the system and how the workflow actually works. So with each update, my collaborators, my colleagues are continually being updated on the different changes within the model. So the possibilities here are endless. I mean, increased design time. We're looking at better detection of errors and clashes. As you can see here, it'd be quite easy to determine. It is quite easy to determine those sort of things. Again, we have our, if I go into the files menu, you can see I even have the details of my Focchi facades here present in the files. So let's take this a step further. We have a project. Let's look at, let's actually go through a project. So let's go through this one here. This is the Crown Halls project. I think I'm not, from what I remember, there are multiple different models here. So again, my structural model, as you can see here, I'm able to view the different beams and the secondary beams, the slabs. And I'm also able to, so as you can see here, multiple different models concerning each respect of the building. If I go into the files, all those files are easily accessible in this location. I'm able to view the owner of those files, the last change in the size. I can go into it and I can download all the different files associated with that model, which is great. And that's the connection with the BIMservercenter. I hope that demonstrated it quite well. Now starts the fun part. We're going to be we're going to be developing our Focchi facades model onto this apartment here. How I'm going to structure it is I'm going to structure it by each face of the building. So initially we're going to start off with this face here. We're going to go on to the different faces, and also I'm going to look at how do we input these specialized elements that have specific dimensions into our project as well. All right, guys. See you guys in the next video.